we are going to look at how to find volume here of rectangular prisms and cylinders. Rectangular prisms, you guys probably know from before. Not too bad. We're going to take a little more look at why does that kind of equation work out, and then also for cylinders. They're very similar. I actually find volume a little bit easier to do than surface area, just because of the way this stuff kind of works out. But again, here we're looking at volume. There's the three-dimensional space that something takes up, not just the surface. So the way that I kind of like to think about that, I'm going to pop back here for a second. So if I had a glass of my wonderful grape juice here, so the surface area would be the actual glass itself on the outside. And the volume then would be sort of how much liquid the thing could hold, in essence. That's kind of the difference between surface area and volume in there. So back to that, to look at a little bit of like how we might find that. And it's not area, it's actually volume that we're looking at. It's just a repeated application of area. Seems a little strange, but for example here, this rectangular prism, we have this yellow square here. We're basically, I'm going to count that as the base. Now the base could be, you could put that on the bottom if you wanted, but here, this is just really 8 times 3, right? That's what this base is. It's equal to 24 in this case, right? But we could repeatedly put this area in here and it would create the volume. You guys would know we take 8 times 3 times 10, right? That's what we get the whole thing. But the reason that works is we could kind of think about this. I'm going to move this shape all the way to the back. We could think about it being at this very back spot back here. I could force it underneath and pull it up here. And really, we're going to repeat this. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times through, right? Now I get that doesn't fit perfectly, so let's make that fit. So in here, we could repeat this area through. We've got each of these things are 24, right? Each of these surfaces is worth 24, and we have 10 of them. So we would repeat that 10 times, right? That's what we're going to do. So here, really what we've all the way done, and you guys, probably knew this off, before, but that's why that works. We're taking one thing and repeatedly using that 10 times over, which in this case, is 240, not too bad to do. But in general, what most people say is, we usually take like length times width, L times W. Or actually, let's put this so that L becomes a little bit more cursive in there. Usually how we do that is L times width. That gives us the base, and then we repeat that, or we multiply that however many times the height is, right? We repeat that however often that height is, and that's usually the general form of that. Yeah, that's what we have there. To shorten that up a little bit, and again, it's going to fit a little funky in there, but that's in general how we would find that thing. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Then we're on to surface area. Again, I put surface area here again. Actually, if we want to have volume of a cylinder, same type of thing, although now our base is a circle and not a square. So, and again, I turn this a little bit so it'll work out on the computer, but really this is whatever the area of this base is, which is 2 times pi times the radius. Yeah, I get there's no radius listed in here, and that's because I want to find it in general. And again, I'm going to move this shape, and think about it like, okay, whatever the one is, I can kind of imagine it's on the bottom here. I'm just going to pull it up so we can see it. And then we just kind of take that and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? I would just put 8 of those pieces down, or until it, fills up. I get it doesn't work perfectly on there, but that's what a cylinder is. It's just a bunch of stacked circles, or if you like to think about it, maybe you've got some quarters or something, and if you stack those quarters up, right, that's essentially making a cylinder there. We just have a bunch of quarters stacked up together, right? And that's all a cylinder is. So I'm taking every quarter, or whatever circle, and stacking them up. And that's what's making a cylinder. So we would repeat that however many times the height is, right, in there. So in general, kind of the rule, if you like look up the big thing, it's saying, well, take the circle, which is 2 pi times radius, and then you multiply that times the height. Okay, so if you look that, you can always look these things up on Google or somewhere else. I'm sure they're on lots of different websites. We can find those things. So like here, if I knew the radius, we just put that in there and multiply that stuff through. So that's how you find the volume of a cylinder. So there's a few more questions down below for you. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you later.